Camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two. Welcome, ProCycle people. We're doing a little final wrap up as the year winds down. We're winding up on the TW200 build and wanted to bring you out the nice little forest here and give you a little rundown of all the great things that we've came up for the TW.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't know who we are, I'm Tom, and this is
Mike.
Yep.
If you haven't watched any of our other videos, go back and rewatch them. You'll know who we are then.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, if you have any questions about the products that we do highlight here, go back. They're all on the other videos, the previous videos that we've done, so you can kind of get a more in-depth view. Everything should be on the site pretty much as well for ordering and ready to go.
The TW, it's a little cult bike. It's grown on us more and more the more we've had it and played with it and rode it. It's an interesting bike all on its own. It's kind of like the single thumper dual sports that have been around forever. It just kind of does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Nothing too great, but
it does everything well. Nothing
yeah.
Amazing. Well, tractor's amazing.
It does tractor very amazing.
Yeah.
First gear. Kind of segueing into some of the stuff we've done to the bike. We did do new chain and sprockets. We stayed with the stock gearing on the bike, just because of the mix of riding that we do. We will eventually play with some larger rear sprockets and stuff, just see how torquey it can really get.
Yeah.
But for what we do around here, a lot of the stuff's a little more higher flowing, higher speed stuff, if you will. So stock gearing's plenty good enough.
Yeah.
You know.
And even low speed stuff for second gear is still ridiculously great. And you can still top out at, what was it, 59, 60?
59, 60, and then I think I went into a full tuck, and in about a 10-mile stretch, I made 70.
Yeah, yeah.
All the upgrades have been amazing for this bike. I mean, we can kind of start at the tutor and make our way up to the rooter.
Or go to the tip to tail.
Tip to tail. We're going to kind of cover a little bit of the stuff that was done in stage 1, and this is going to be our stage 2 review. So we'll kind of incorporate a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But the wheels, you built those.
Yeah, yes. And the main reason for doing the wheels is to get a really good knobby on the rear. There's really no good options for a DOT knobby in a 14-inch. So we built a 17 by 3.5 in the rear and a 19 by 275 in the front. Mm-hmm. And we've got a set of Moto Z ADVs on there, a 19-inch in the front, of course, a 17 in the rear. The overall diameter stays the same, so it doesn't affect your gearing or your speedo in that effects, and just opens up the possibility of the tires are endless now, and it makes it handle a lot different as well.
Yeah, you lose some of that kind of bouncy bubbliness. I mean, it's still kind of there, but yeah, you kind of lose that, and it just, if you want to ride a little more aggressively with your TW, it's definitely a setup to go.
And it makes it a more direct, I feel it's a more direct feel. Mm-hmm. Getting rid of that bubbly feeling, as you said, and makes a world of difference. And plus, I think it looks really good.
No, it looks really good. So kind of going along with the wheels, working our way back there, the Supermoto rotor kit, we did that, and in conjunction with like the Tall Rider kit, we've got the braided steel brake line on there. You grab brake, I've stalled the bike a few times, just grabbing it really hard, just seeing how hard I can actually stop, and it'll stop. It'll stop.
It'll do a stoppie. It's 280, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. The rotor, and then it moves it out about an inch. Just gives you more leverage on the brake, and with the stainless steel line, there's more direct feel off of your brake lever. Mm-hmm. And you have to kind of get used to it, because I know the first time you grabbed the fronts after we did it, it woke you up.
Yep. Well, I mean, just braided steel brake lines on any bike, going from the OE lines to something like that, just that alone is a huge improvement between stopping power, brake feel. The lines don't get a chance to expand, so all that pressure just comes straight down to the pistons
In the
the calipers. And so, I mean, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Did on my DR. Any other bike I get, I'm going to be definitely putting braided steel lines on.
It's one of the first things, especially, and if you've got an older TW or an older DR or anything like that, you know, 4 or 5 years is the lifespan of rubber brake lines. And so most of us are way past that.
Yeah. In that same general area, we did the DDCs with fork springs. We did the 6.0s.
6.0s. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
0.60 kg fork springs and the Cogent DDCs. And that helped a lot too. You see in one of the suspension videos that we did with this, just on the other side of the hill here, we're monkeying around, you know, kind of a little test course. And I know for me, like, it felt like I was a lot faster out there. Not that I'm a fast rider, it's a fast bike, but I definitely felt like I could hook through turns a lot easier. I didn't have a lot of dive, and then, you know,
it keeps the weight transfer better, and it keeps the front end a lot more planted. You don't come in to a break, or you're coming up to a stop sign or something like that and have to aggressively brake, or even normal braking, and the front end completely collapses.
No, exactly.
And this way it keeps the weight transfer good. You can brake harder. Honestly, when we were on that little trail, you just pointed the front tire where you wanted it to go, and it just hooked up and went.
Yep.
So
hooked up and went. And then even out on the roadway too, you know, doing sweepy like canyon roads and stuff, with that stock suspension and even with the stock brakes, I felt like it kind of like pushed in, and sometimes I was just waiting for it to just
kind of
tuck and lay under, but it dampens in and it just holds tight, and it just feels so good.
Yeah. And then you don't get that kind of mid corner when you get back on the gas or off the gas. You know, it's like, oh, whoa, okay, and then it transfers all over. So big improvement, super easy to install, and the difference is night and day, especially for people, most, you know, normal American-sized people.
And most of the upgrades too, you only need a basic toolkit. There's not really any specialty tools. It's nice to have a torque wrench, but
moving up, we've got our light kit, the Mojave light kit that we've got here.
Yeah, and those are the 2x3s, so they come with the special combo lens like what we have on this one. The outer portion is a floodlight, and then the inner portion is a clear lens, and so that's your spotlight. That was huge difference having those on. It's amazing.
And those, I mean, we do have JNS's light bar on here as well, but this and the JNS headlight is enough to peel the paint off the car in front of you. And so, and you can't really see it from this camera view, but we have these pointed out a little bit to give you a little bit more field of view. And then if you wanted even more out in front of you, you could put your light bar on.
And I like the color hue of those too. They're not like they're, you know, 7,000 Kelvin where they're like blue or something. I think they're like 5,000 or 55.
Yeah,
so they got just a natural slight yellow tinge to them, which is nice because it gives you contrast when you're out off-roading. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, bright lights are cool, but it helps having contrast to see what you're going over on stuff. Especially if there's snow on the ground. The JNS headlight, that was a huge upgrade too. We saved, what was it, like 30 watts of power out of there. So I mean, then that can go to, not that the TW puts out a lot of power from the stator, but that frees it up where you can run heated grips or a heated seat.
Or if you got your extra lights,
you know, stuff like that, you don't have to worry about that draw on your system.
Charge your phone. You know, that's everyone's got a charger on their bike now, pretty much. So
no, exactly. And it's got that cool little DRL strip right there, little running light. You know, kind of modernizes the bike as well, which I really like. And like you mentioned, running accessories and stuff, we have the TW dash on there, and that's been a lot more of a popular upgrade for the bike than I thought
it
was going to be.
Boy, oh my goodness. You can hardly keep up with those things. So
and if you're not aware of those, you've got 2 LED rocker switches. They're waterproof. We wire one in, so then all you got to do is just run, you know, your lead from the light to that switch, and then it's powered and ready to go. And then the other one, we have it ran to ground, but left the power in, power out open so that you can put whatever you want on that switch. It's up to you. And then it also comes with the LED voltmeter, and it's also has 2 USB ports on it as well. And so that's pretty nice.
And having that LED voltmeter is really handy because you can, it tells you how much voltage you have. Plus, if there might be an issue where there's a short or something, or
well, when we were just up here that one day, and then it was like jumping all over the place, like 6 volts, 18, like or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, there's something wrong there. So I was able to pull off. We figured out it was just a little grounding issue and fixed it, and boom, back on the road.
So the more information you can have, the better.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So we got with Mayer to do special colorways on the plastics. We have the yellow. We actually just sold out. I think we're going to be getting another batch of the olive drab or forest green.
Yeah.
And then we also have the sand.
Yeah, we have the desert sand, which if anybody's interested in those are really sweet plastics. They're actually a little bit thicker than these ones, so they seem a lot more durable, and they have like a nice little matte finish to them.
Yeah, I really like the sand.
We've been working with Baja Designs.
Is it
or
Parabellum?
Well, we were working with Parabellum, but they're kind of in a stalemate right now. They're just busy with so many other things. Or Baja Works, rather.
Yes.
Working with Baja Works to get an actual TW windscreen made. That's still in the works. We were hoping it was going to be done by now. They're all go for it. It's just a matter of just getting it into production, which is fine because it'll happen.
Yep.
That was a nice upgrade for that. That really helped out on the highways, especially, you know, already struggling to do 65, 60. Well, and that just kind of...
Yeah. And so that will be available as soon as it gets into production. We are definitely working with that. It's kind of like, we can kind of like the tank, which will eventually come. And we have a couple other parts that are in the works, but we wanted to kind of wrap this up. It's been a year since we've got it, and there's still a few more goodies, but this is a good gist of it. So.
But they're going to take a little bit longer, just production kind of stuff, getting things made and going through all that, all the hoops for that. So figured to show you kind of where we're at now, and you know, we'll reconvene for stage 3 later on down the line. I did want to mention with the windscreen on there, there's some people on the TW forums mentioning that having a windscreen on there can cause buffeting, and it would cause for the Mayer cowling, it would make it separate off or whatever or something. Never had any issues. Done 70 miles an hour on the TW with that windscreen on there.
I mean, oh, there we go. That it took that much force to get her
on.
And that's pulling it. So
so no issues there, and no buffeting issues too. That was really nice. So let's move on. So we've got the Tall Rider kit too, and the Atrubis handguards on there.
Yeah, and these are my favorite handguards. I've ran these on the KLR. We've ran them on here. They're a good oversized one. So it keeps all the wind off, all the rain off, all the trees, branches, rocks, dirt. This is a total 5-inch rise?
5.5.
5, yeah. So as you can see in like the video that we did and the listing on it, I'm 6'3", 6'3.5". I can stand up comfy on it. It's comfortable for you, and it doesn't feel like you have ape hangers. That's a big question I get.
I mean, it looks like ape hangers, but when you're riding, though, no, it actually puts you in a more neutral riding position where you're comfortable, especially for the taller riders like Mike. It puts you in that normal riding position where you're not tucked, putting all your weight forward and stuff. I mean, stock handbar, the grip is like down here.
Yeah, pretty much even with the cowling here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a huge improvement.
We've got the PowerMad 2-inch rise on here as well. That's part of the kit. I do love this riser because it gives you 2 pivot points off of. So if you're like me and have long arms, want the bars a little bit farther out, you're able to push them out.
You can pivot that, and then you can have your bars
set. And same with you. If you wanted them back a little bit closer to you, you're able to pivot them back. So those are probably another thing I used to have on my old bike as well. And I absolutely love those things.
Oh yeah, no, they're awesome.
Yeah.
We also have the double take mirrors on here. They're the rounds. And those are really nice because they come with the ram ball mount and the arm there. And so you can loosen them, you can adjust them any which way you want, fold them in, whatever. It's an awesome upgrade for any bike.
And what I notice about these is they don't vibrate as much as like the OE mirrors. If you want to go with a good mirror that's tough as heck and reduces the vibration, so you can actually kind of see behind you.
Yeah.
That's a good way, because in between the ram ball and the mount and the material that they use, it reduces a lot of the vibration. So next on the hit parade, we've got our Clark 2.7 gallon gas tank. These are a great product. They're much better fuel capacity than stock. It's lighter than stock. It's stronger. You're not going to get dents in it or scratched up or anything.
Exactly. On the tank there, we've got the giant loop buck and roll tank bag. It's a nice little bag. Throw your gloves in there, your cell phone,
yeah,
put a little map in there.
It's got a clear top so you can see.
Yeah, no, it's waterproof.
Yeah.
Giant Loop makes some phenomenal products, and they're a local business. They're just on the other side of the mountain range from us here in Oregon.
Yep, up in Bend.
Good people over there.
Yeah. And
then, so I'm actually using that right now. I don't know if you can kind of wiggle some of those wires, maybe they can kind of see. We wired in a O2, wideband O2 sensor and reader into it, and I've got the reader sitting in the tank bag in the map pouch, so when we're riding it we can see what our data is. Yeah, for our AFRs.
Yeah, and the nice thing also that's nice about that little tank bag is it doesn't interfere with the gas cap. That's a big thing. A lot of people, complain, I got to move my tank bag to fill up my gas tank. This one's small enough and nice enough that it sits out of the way. You can still fill up your gas cap or a tank without having to worry about it.
Let's see what else we've got. The seat concepts, carbon fiber sides with semi-grip top. It's a standard height. I know Mike wants the taller seat, but
that's still way better than stock.
it's
still way better than stock. Yes, exactly. And so we do have the kits, and also we have came out with our own seat pan. And so we can sell you a complete seat on a pan. All you got to do is install it on the bike.
Yeah, and for those of you wondering why, Yamaha will not sell just the seat pan. You have to buy the entire seat, and that gets pricey really fast. Turn signals. Forgot about those.
We were getting to those are, yeah. Little cat eye,
yeah.
LED turn signals.
Those are awesome. They're a little cheap upgrade to go from stock. They way brighter than stock. They flash a lot quicker than stock. And for any of you that are putting in aftermarket turn signals, be aware that on the bottom side of the caps here, there's a little weep hole, so condensation, moisture, anything like that, water, whatever gets in there, it can drain out. I found out the hard way. I had them upside down on the back, and one of them was full of water one day. And realized that's where I messed up.
Yeah. So they are non-directional and directional all at the same time.
Exactly.
So yes. So
inside is out.
Yes, and outside is in. We've got with DG to make the RST reduced sound technology muffler. They make a couple different versions. They make the V2 and the RST. This one is loud enough that you can get someone's attention on their cell phone next to you, but it's not. Your neighbors are still gonna like you when you come home. It's got a really good sound to it, and you do have to repack it every few years, but really that's the least of your worries.
Yeah, and that's not hard at all.
No.
And it's like Mike said, your neighbors, they're not gonna get mad at you because it's got a low, deep rumble to it, which makes the TW sound even way better.
Right.
But it stays pretty deep and semi-quiet, for the lower portion of the rev range, lower to mid.
Yeah.
Doesn't really scream too much until you get up in the upper RPMs, which is nice.
Right.
Because you can ride to your neighborhood. It's just kind of in that same area. We did the Tell Tidy kit for this. So it kind of gets rid of that bulkiness underneath the rear fender.
Yeah.
Get a little LED setup going on.
Cleans it up really nice. Makes it just look how it should. And then down below that, we have the JNS 3-arm extension kit.
Yeah.
For the swing arm. Adds a little bit of height to the bike.
Yep.
Sits it up a little bit, but I think it actually it didn't make much of a difference per se riding. I could see the ground clearance definitely. We have the Cogent shock on the rear, complete shock.
Yep. Standard duty.
Oh my
spring rate.
goodness, yeah. I could launch this thing and not have a care.
Yeah, no, and it's a fully adjustable rear shock, just kind of like the Mojaves are. Really nice setup.
Yeah.
And pretty easy to install on this bike as well. We do have the Ricochet skid plate on there. That's been a blessing.
Oh, definitely used.
Yeah, definitely used.
Way stronger, like 1,000 times stronger than stock.
The skid plate installation video.
Yeah.
I took the stock skid plate, I was just playing around and was like, I wonder if I could bend this. And it just, boom, it just folded in like a paper plate. And I was like, wow.
Skid plate tacos.
Yeah, skid plate tacos.
Yeah.
So
No, you wouldn't be able to do that with the Ricochet.
no.
Yeah.
We do also have the Moose Racing 1-inch longer shift lever on the bike as well. That makes a difference, especially if you got, I don't know, probably a size 10 boot or bigger, I would say.
Helps you get your toe underneath it a little bit easier.
Yep. And we have our IMS TW foot peg kit on there. Huge improvement over the stock.
I mean, the stock ones are about that wide.
Yeah,
So-
not kidding. They look like they came off a PW50 or something.
They probably did.
Probably did.
Yeah. On the other side, we've got the Moose Racing brake lever with the breakaway folding tip on it, anodized blue. Those are in production right now, and we'll have them on the site as soon as they get into stock. So,
Yeah, no, definitely. And with the brake pedal as well, they're looking into making a 1-inch longer brake pedal. So, got big feet, big nose,
we got you covered.
big hands. We got you covered.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No head pipe.
Upgraded the air filter. We rejetted the carb with our jet kit. That in itself has been a great upgrade.
It's been a fun ride, fun project to work on and get other companies to jump on board, like Warp 9 and Buchanan's, Mayer, Chirby's, Baja Works. All these guys have been really great to work with, and we are making a little living room space for it up in the front of the building, so you can just swing on by if you're ever in town. Check her out. We always love people to stop by.
Oh yeah, no, definitely come by, shoot us an email, call us if you ever need anything.
Yeah.
Even if it's not just parts and you're just trying to figure something out with your bike, you're like, hey, it's doing this. We'll help you out.
We can at least try.
We've been around the block a time or two, and so we have some advice that we can definitely help you out with.
Well, that's half the problem. It's just put forth effort sometimes. So yeah, we'll get you taken care of. And if there's anything, any questions you have on any of our products, like Tom said, shoot, call, send us a text. We'll try to get to everything as fast as we can. There's only a few of us on the phones and emails, so sometimes it does delay, but we'll get you taken care of.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Perfect. Due to technical difficulties, we're back at the shop.
Yep.
And not really technical, just difficulties.
Right.
Right. We just wanted to follow up and say, don't forget about all the great products that we have right now. We've got more coming out, but wheel sets, the exhaust, the tall rider kits, the seats, skid plates, suspension, headlights,
Tall bars. I mean,
yeah,
foot pegs, you name it. Everything's coming out on the site.
yeah,
New things coming down the pike. We've got
levers
from Warp 9 that are going to be here. Working on that windscreen still from Baja Works. Gas tank, we're still in the works with IMS and hopefully a Chirby's. We can get some other tank options, colors, sizes, things like that going on. If there's anything you guys would like to see on the TW that we haven't talked about or anything like that, please let us know in the comments, send us an email. Hey, this is what we think.
Yeah.
Other than that, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our newsletter. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Give us a thumbs up. And as always,
Adventure begins here. Belly, 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 belly. All right.